This happened during the middle of the night when I was home alone. I was in our house's living room when I felt my phone buzz from inside my pocket. I pulled it out and noticed it was a text from an unknown number. It simply read, "How's your show?" Now, I was in fact watching TV, but I thought it was either spam or someone that had the wrong number, so I deleted it and kept on with my night. Around 10 minutes later, I got another text from the same number. This time it read, "Don't ignore me." I started to get kind of freaked out. That's when I got the last text. "I'll always be watching. Look outside." I looked out the living room window just to the left of me. Across the street, the light from a flashlight turned on in an upstairs window of one of the houses, and I could see the vague silhouette of a person slowly waving. The house he was in had been abandoned for at least a year up until that point. I called the police and later on would file a restraining order against what turned out to be some older guy. I still have no idea who he was or how he got my phone number. I use dating apps somewhat frequently. This comes from the perspective of a female. I was talking to this one guy who kept insisting that we should meet tonight. I wasn't all that interested, so I started slowly responding less and less before I stopped responding altogether. After a while, I noticed he double texted me. Curious, I opened the app to see what he said. His character took a complete 180 flip. He said something about how he was just going to drive his car to come and find me. I refreshed the app and saw the distance drop from saying he was 20 miles away to 1 mile away. Then the third text in a row. "I'm close now." I blocked his profile immediately and turned off all the lights in my apartment. I've since disabled the setting that allows the app to use my location. When I was in high school, I used to play a lot of CSGO. I remember one game in particular. It started out fine. The teammates I got paired up with were actually pretty nice. But later on we started losing, and one of them started getting really aggressive towards the rest of us. I remember I told him something like to calm down, or just to relax because it was just a game. That's when, directed at me, he said, "I'm going to kill you in real life." Obviously, I didn't take the threat seriously. After the game, he sent me a friend request. I accepted it, expecting him to trash talk and go off about how bad I was. Instead, he sent me my complete address, my dad's full name, and my phone number. I instantly blocked the account. I was beyond terrified, especially when you consider the fact that CSGO is only playable on Steam, and Steam doesn't make any of your actual personal details publicly available. I was solo tent camping at a campground in the mountains. It was night and I was laying in my tent on my phone. Now, if you don't know, Apple has this thing known as AirDrop. It's basically something that allows iOS devices to send photos, videos, or files to other nearby iOS devices without needing Wi-Fi or cellular data. A notification showed up on my phone, covering the whole middle section of the screen. It was an AirDrop request. It read, "iPhone would like to share a photo." Underneath that, it gave a smaller preview of the photo itself. The photo was dark, clearly taken at night. I turned my brightness to the max, and could now make out a tent in the photo. It also had text overlaying it reading, "I watch you in your sleep." I couldn't tell if the tent was mine. I was going to press accept so I could see the entire picture and get a better look, but whoever sent it canceled the request before I could press it. I packed up my stuff in the dark and left that night. I was pretty shaken up over the whole experience. I run a small business in my area which I have my personal phone number attached to. Basically, customers will reach out via text or sometimes a phone call to request an order. I'll then manually deliver the product to them at a predetermined meetup spot. One day, I got a text from a customer who I met up with about a week prior. I assumed it would just be a thank you or a review, as I often get those. I opened it, but oddly it just said, "I like your shirt." I remember specifically I was wearing a shirt with this Transformers logo on it at the time. The text was weird, and I didn't really know how to respond, so I just texted back thanks. Almost immediately after I sent it, I got another text, this time saying, "I like Transformers too." My heart dropped. I was sitting at home at the time. I immediately got up and moved away from the window that was right next to me. I replied saying I was willing to call the police. I told him I had his number and remembered exactly what his face looked like. Realistically, this wasn't true. I had too many customers in my phone to keep track of, but this still seemed to work, as I never got another text back from him.